probably a fair number of subscribers who won't be interested in this, but I did get enough comments and engagement on my homeschooling plans at the beginning of the year that I thought there would be some of you who might want to know how things have gone halfway through the year. Overall, I would say things have gone very well. I have been pleased with how much I have enjoyed homeschooling. I was a little bit nervous going into it, not knowing, now we've made this big decision, am I actually going to enjoy it? But I am always that person that when September rolls around and I see brand new school supplies in stores, I just want to buy brand new school supplies, even though I don't need them. So now when I get my planner at the beginning of every year, that's kind of how that side of me is coming out. And just the school setting, I really enjoy learning. I want to be a lifelong learner. And so it's been really fun. It has gone a bit differently than I thought it would, but it has the amount of consistency we've had in days of school occurring has been really great. So it was a bit of an adjustment at first, and I was surprised it did take a fair amount of energy out of me. But I've been enjoying it so much that it feels very worth using up the energy on that. And if, my life for the next, over a decade is budgeting my energy for homeschooling the boys and cooking meals when I can, and then just cozying up with good books, I'm okay with that. That seems like a pretty good deal to me. And a couple things that didn't work as well. So the Good and the Beautiful science unit, and then the Around the World with Picture books by Beautiful Feet Books. I have found that with my chronic illness, that anything besides kind of on the page book learning takes a lot of energy, and they're fun projects, but these are really, it's very labor intensive. One, you're supposed to make meals to go with it. Then you're supposed to do like painting and watercolor. And at this age for Peter, having him do that, it just takes a lot of instruction and direction from me. And it's very all hands on deck. It's funny because people talk about unschooling like you're doing less, but I think unschooling is more work for the parents. So unfortunately, I just had to say goodbye to this. Maybe when they're older, I really like the concept of it, but it just drains me too much. And then unfortunately, the same goes for the Good and the Beautiful science unit. It was very, it was just not like, here is a book and, here are these easy steps. I just love in the Good and the Beautiful reading and math. You just open the book and there is the lesson for you. And the things that are kind of more hands-on activities are really easy and achievable, just in a matter of seconds to get together what you need to get, or, give them the directions that they need. And I think that in the future, we won't be doing the Good and the Beautiful science unit. And also, I will link below Angie. Her channel is Science Mama. She also has a BookTube channel. But on her channel, she had talked about how she was going to be reviewing the Sunlight science curriculum. And I was very intrigued because my husband and I had just been talking about getting a science curriculum for Peter next year. I kind of wanted to wait until 3rd grade, but my husband, being a chemist, said, I really would like it if you could start science before. So Angie's Sunlight curriculum, science curriculum video just sold me. Everything that she had to say about it, and particularly because it's like you have 4 days of book learning, or there's a 4-day curriculum and a 5-day curriculum, but you have 4 days of book curriculum, and then there's an experiment day. And so I think that my husband and myself could successfully tag team in teaching this. I would do all the curriculum, like book curriculum, and then he could do the experiments, especially because he knows very specifically how to do experiments in a way that is, you're not messing with the data and you're being very precise. It's much like baking, honestly. So I think I think it would be best if he does the experiments. And so I liked this, that as opposed to the Good and the Beautiful science curriculum, it was like very hands-on every single time we did a lesson. And it wasn't working for me. It was just too tiring and I couldn't keep up with it. So I have just decided for first grade, for Peter, we are just really going all out with the reading and the math, and I'm very at peace with that. And let's see, for math, we've done 60, how many? 60 lessons exactly. And I mean, these are so beautiful. They're talking about morning, evening, and night, or morning, afternoon, and evening. And just, I love these illustrations. So the style of the lesson typically is that you'll have this new concept, and they're talking about the different activities that you do in that time of the day. And they go over the new concept, and then you'll have some kind of activity, the way that you engage with it. And they had little graphics this side that were cut out, and he put when in each time of day you would do those activities. And then there's always review work. So he had to count by fives with the dice, put the next numbers here, count the 10 sticks, and then review the amounts of money and peg patterns. And then over here, a subtraction maze. So I just find it works really well for us that I have to sit down and actively explain a new concept to him and walk him through it, especially if he's a little confused. I'll show him some examples. But then the rest, I kind of say, you're doing this here. Remember that you counted money this way. You're going to do that here. And he knows how to pick up with that. So I'm very happy with the math curriculum. And I'd say this is right at his level. He is challenged by it, but he's doing really well in grasping all the concepts. My only gripe with the actual material is that the spiral, periodically little bits of the cover will get warped off. So that's a very frustrating thing to me. But I really do love this curriculum, and I love how beautiful it is. I mean, I was looking at some other math curriculums, and honestly, it's just such an eyesore in comparison. So I have no plans to switch from the good and the beautiful in math for next year. And then reading. Reading has gone really well, and I said at the beginning of the year that Peter was kind of in between level K and level 1, and now I'm really glad that I started with level K, because I think if we had started with level 1, he would have gotten very overwhelmed, and then kind of it would have given him this bad association with reading. But with this reading, it started out, and he kept saying how easy it was, but gradually it has gotten more challenging. And one of the things that I think has really helped his reading is that every single day they have phonics flashcards, and we do these flashcards, and I think there's 60 flashcards in total now, and he does all 60 flashcards every single day. And it does get monotonous, but I think that has just really helped him get stronger and stronger in his reading. And now I see that he is reading words spontaneously when we are out and about, and we took most of December off. We took like 3 weeks of December off, and I was a little nervous about what that time off was going to do for him, but he just kept reading spontaneously in that time, and I thought, okay, like we can have this break. It's okay to do this break. So I told you we were on lesson 60 of the good and the beautiful math, and now we are on lesson 72 of the reading. So the lessons are rather short, and as he continued to get stronger in his reading, I thought, you know what? I feel like we could just speed up and then get started on first grade reading, because he's doing so well, and reading and math to me are the most essential when they're this age. And so to get him stronger and stronger in that, and I'll show you, the lessons are very short. So in this one, you have some sight word letters that you practice, then the phonics cards that I talked about. And then he has to read me these words, which that won't be a problem at all. And then there's a mini book called Clocks, and he reads that. And that's an entire lesson. So I thought, you know what? We can speed up the process. So I think we'll do 2 lessons tomorrow. And he's not really struggling with doing more than 1 lesson. So that's a sign to me that I think it's a good decision to speed this up and then get started with first grade curriculum. And I think my goal is, by the time he's 3rd grade age, for him to be ready to start a 3rd grade curriculum at the beginning of the year, because I'm not going to make us get through all of the first grade curriculum. We're going to start it in like March, I think. or, late in February, I'm not going to make us finish all of that. So I think we'll just do it less often during the summer, but still doing some reading during the summer. And then eventually somewhere in second grade, getting the second grade reading curriculum and then being ready for third grade by third grade, if that all makes sense. So I've been really happy with this. The only thing though that I'm a little bit, I just feel I should talk about, there are some poems that they have for memorization in here. The poems are really sappy and moralistic. Let me find one. So maybe very Victorian. So yes, this poem is called Manners by Florence A. Richardson. Water and soap will make you sweet. Brush and comb will keep you neat. But thank you, please, and pardon me will make a sweeter child of thee. And I mean, I agree that a child should have manners, but it's just the way that it's written just seems really over the top and moralizing. So that's something I haven't enjoyed. It's very much like teaching you to be a good little boy and a good little girl. So we didn't even read that poem. We just moved on from it. And the other thing is the readers, I really like the readers. I think they're great. This is Jade and the Lime Stand, about a little girl named Jade who opens a lime stand. A Bell for Miss May. Peter is not that enthralled with him. Okay, he did like this, Shark Facts. He loved Shark Facts. But the other books, he just hasn't been that into. I think he thinks they're a little bland. And I kind of can see what he's saying. But I also don't want him to just want to read, super popular books. So I have been starting to get some of the level 1 early readers from the library for him, and he really liked that. We read some Eloise early readers, and he loved those. And I do think we will still read these, but we won't stick to them exclusively. And he seems really excited to be reading other material. And also, in the fall, we just went through, I only got box C and D. In the fall, we just went through on repeat box C. And so I think that was a mistake on my part, that I shouldn't have made him just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. We definitely want to read them and maybe read each book at least twice. But I think that was an error on my part. And then my goal is on Fridays, if we have done 4 days of school, to then have him do some creative writing and handwriting and arithmetic. But it takes him not very long at all. And I have it depends on the week whether we actually do 4 days of school, but I've just decided that's just what Fridays are going to be. No matter how many days we do in the school week, I feel like he's doing really well academically in all the assessments that I do with him. I did forget to mention that. I really like that periodically in this curriculum, both in the reading and the math, they have a unit assessment. And that's been really encouraging to have him go through those and see, yes, he's making good progress. And Handwriting Without Tears, I did get this out again the other day. I had forgotten about it for several months, but I really like these books. I do think maybe when I get the first grade curriculum, though, I might take a look at the Good and the Beautiful handwriting books. It might be nice to have a kind of more seamless experience for that. And then also this book is very industrial looking. It is not, there's nothing aesthetically pleasing about this book, but it's very effective and what particularly my husband had requested. Can he get something like this? And so it's just math drills. So I will say though, it says first grade math. I think this is really challenging for first grade. I mean, for a first grader to have on a timed test, 16 minus 7 and 16 minus 9, I feel like it's later first grade. So what I did the other day is the ones with a cross in them, I just crossed out ones that were subtraction that started with a number higher than 10. And he'll get stronger in subtraction and eventually I'll stop crossing so many off. But for now, I feel like, I mean, he did 59 other problems on there and it did not take him long. So I do think I'll start incorporating more of those, more challenging subtraction problems eventually. But for now, I'm happy with that. And then morning time has been really fun, where I read either a couple picture books or a couple chapters from Peter's book club picks. And then we've been doing some Bible memory and we like the devotional that we're doing. And then they do kids yoga. that's been going well. Sometimes they complain about it, but I'm like, it's just, you're doing kids yoga. You need exercise. And then the audiobooks that we've been listening to, we've had a lot of fun doing that. And Arthur was too messy with kinetic sand, so he is banned from kinetic sand. But he loves Play-Doh, and for his birthday, I got him, he's going to be so excited. I got him, I think, 12 different colors of Play-Doh. Before, I've just always made Play-Doh, but he got a book that had all of these different colors of Play-Doh, and he keeps talking about how someday he would love to have different colors of Play-Doh. So I think he'll like that when he gets that. Yeah, so it's gone really well. I'm really excited to continue homeschooling, and I am really pleased with the little amount of actual sit-down time that it takes too, because with my energy levels being what they are, that's kind of essential. So we sit down, we do concentrated work, and then he's done and he can play. And I think next year I feel really okay about also incorporating science into it. Then by the time third grade rolls around, hopefully when I want to incorporate history, then, you know, the reading and math will be less all hands-on for me. Yeah, so thanks for watching. I would love to chat with you in the comments if you also homeschool, or if you just had something that you wanted to say about this video. Thank you as always for watching, and I will be back with another video soon. Bye.